Hello, great minds. Good day to each and every one of you. I welcome you to the world of cybersecurity. And in today's teaching, we'll be looking at cybersecurity in respect to system administration. And one thing we need to know for aspirants, for those who are interested in learning cybersecurity, is that before you be able to understand what cybersecurity is all about, you must understand system administration and be competent, have competency in the information communication technology before you be able to excel in the world of cybersecurity. And that's why I'm leading you to system administration first before talking about cybersecurity. As we all know, computer is an electronic device that can collect data, process the data, and therefore store data and pass the data as an output to the users. That's what computer system is all about. And if computer system is all about, then there is a need to be able to understand how to manage this particular system. And that's what we talk about system administration, how to be able to manage this computer system for effective use. And if we don't understand this, we will not be able to understand cybersecurity. And as we all know, computer is divided into, can be used in different places. In the workplace, computer can be used in the workplace. Computer can be used in the workplace for many things, for record keeping, for analyzing data, for research, for preparing report, for backup, and so on and so forth. And it can also be used at home for storing picture, music, keeping financial record, do some purchase and gain and communicate with one another. Even if you go to the internet, can be used to connect people across the world. And therefore computer can be used for many things, and that is why there's a need to protect it. And whether you are using at home, in the office, at workplace, or on the internet, there's a need for security. And that's why we're talking about cyber security. But you must understand how to use it first. So computer is literally divided into two parts: the hardware and the software. The hardware and the software. We have the hardware, the physical component that we can actually touch, and then the software, the part we cannot touch, but make it impossible for the users to be able to interact with the hardware. And this is what we refer to as the software. So as we know, computer consists of two major components, the hardware and the software. Computer hardware is a collection of all the parts that can be physically touched, like your mouse, your hard disk, your floppy disk, your printer, your monitors. They are all referred to as hardware. So if you look at the picture on the screen, you see different devices. A hardware can be an input device or an output device. You can look at different screen, the mouse, the joystick, the printer, the keyboard. You can also look at storage devices, the RAM, the hard disk, the floppy disk, and so on and so forth. And even an output devices like the printer, the monitor, the CPU, they are all referred to as the hardware component. Now let's look deeply into the software component, which is our major aim of discussion today. Now the software component is actually the program that is used on the computer system that actually help the users to interact with the computer. And it can be divided into four different parts: the operating system, the compiler software, the networking software, and then the interpreter. But before that, the software itself is divided into two parts. We have the application software, and there's also the system software. So the system software is divided into four parts: the operating system, the compiler software, the networking software, and then the interpreter software. Now the operating systems are the software that make it possible for users to be able to interact directly with the hardware. And we have different type of operating system. We have the desktop or the personal operating system like Windows, Kali, Kali Linux, or Linux operating system, and even Mac operating system. We also have smartphones operating system like Android, like iOS, like Windows phones. They are all referred to as smartphone operating system. So we also have another operating system referred to as embedded operating system, the type that we can see in your ATM machines and other embedded tools or devices. Those are the different type of operating systems that we have. So we also have compilers. Now if you look at the picture below, you see different type of operating system: Windows, Unix, network, Linux, Ubuntu, and so on and so forth. We have the compiler. The compiler are written in different computer language. The electronic component of the computer have two states, the on and off, and these two states may represent 1 and 0. And so the compiler actually make it possible for us to interact with the system even without the operating system. Like if you want to boot into your bootloader or your setup, you can do that without the operating system, and this is as a result of the functionality, as a result of the help of the compiler software. They also have networking software. This is the software in our system that make it possible to us to share and to collaborate with one another using network, to be able to share data with one another, to be able to connect with one another, to be able to interact with one another. We make use of the network software. So we also have interpreter. Interpreter actually help us to be able to interact, the user to interact, to be able to understand and interact the data input and the data output. So when the computer, whatever the user gives to the computer is actually in bit and byte, 1 and 0s. So because computer does not understand the human readable language, computer system actually convert the human readable language. The interpreter convert the human readable language to machine language, and then convert it from machine language to the human readable language for better understanding of humans. So that's what the compilers actually does for us. These are the four different type of system of software we have. Then we have application software. Application software are actually all the software that we use to perform a specific task, like your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Microsoft Office packages, and so on and so forth. They are all referred to application software. To understand the different software that we have, let's go back to operating system and look at what it's all about. Each operating system has what we refer to as interface. So every operating system has an interface, and in every operating system we have two types of interface. We have the graphical user interface, which is what you are seeing, and this is Windows graphical user interface. We also have a command line interface, which is referred to as the CLI, and the GUI, which is graphical user interface. So the graphical user interface, the user interacts with the system using using icons. So if I want to click on anything now, I'll click on the icon. Maybe I want to access this folder now, I'll click on the icon, it will open for me. If I want to do anything, I must click on that icon. So before that, if I want to click on, I'll click on the icon. So that is for graphical user interface. But today we are not talking much about graphical user interface, because in cybersecurity, majorly or most time we make use of the command line interface. So we want to learn about how to interact with the system from the command line interface. So now let's get back to it. Now if you click on here, you search. Now Windows has two types of command line interface. Windows has what we call command prompt, and it has what we call PowerShell. So let us look at command prompt first. So just search for command prompt. Command prompt. So let's search for command. So this is the window command prompt, right? So this is the window command. Now let us look at The first thing we want to look at first is called file management. File and directory management. How to manage files and directly within your system or within your network. So if you want to see what is inside the current directory, when we talk about directory in cybersecurity, we are talking about folders. So when we look at the current directory here, we say you type dir, which means list everything within a working directory, dir. So if I press enter, dir and enter, it will give us the volume in drive, say as number, and then the serial number. Also give us the directories of C, what is inside here. It's telling us these are what are here, giving us the date it was created and also the time, and then it's telling us that they are directory. That means they are folders. He said there's no file here, but we have 17 directory, and then this is the volume, the total volume of it in bytes. So if you want to go to desktop directory, we use a command called cd, which means change directory. So cd directory is cd desktop. So we cd desktop. So when we see the desktop, we are now inside the desktop folder. You can see that we are now inside desktop folder, no longer inside HP as a user. So we are inside desktop folder. So if we want to create a new folder or a new directory inside the desktop folder, we use a command called mkdir, which is the command to make directory. Then the directory name, let's say the directory name is sample, for example. So this is sample, mkdir. You create what? Sample. If you create it now, if you go to your desktop now, you see that there's a folder now called sample, which we created from the terminal here, or from the command line interface. You can see it now. It is sample here. Do you see it, right? So if you want to go into the sample folder here now in order to create file, we'll cd sample. So anytime you want to create, so cd sample. So we are inside sample now. We are inside the folder called sample. Now if you want to go back, assuming you want to go back to the desktop folder or the desktop directory, you do cd space ... which means go back to previous directory. Cd space ... go back to previous directory and press enter. That is how to go back. But let's go back to sample again. Sample. So we are now in sample back. So if we want to actually create a folder, if you want to create files, there are two ways to create files here. It's either use echo or use notepad. So let's look at echo first. Say if you echo, you can echo anything. You say, let's say echo, then what you want to type inside it. Say echo, I am learning. I'm learning system administration. Then you use a greater than symbol here, which means to write into a file. That's what we want to say. Write into a file. Let's call this file sample.txt. So the file must have a file name and also a file extension. So let's say it's a txt file. Say sample.txt. We press enter. So if you look at it now, if you do dir, we'll find out that we have a file and called sample.txt. If you go back to your terminal and check the sample folder, you see now that we have a file and called sample.txt. That is how to create a file. That's one way to create a file. Another way to create a file is to use notepad. So you type notepad, then the file name. Let's say sample.pdf. Let's call it sample.pdf. Notepad sample.pdf and press enter. You can see it asks whether I want to create a new file. Say yes. So if you come here now, you can see that the notepad is I say wow, learning cybersecurity is great. Learn cybersecurity is great. I am so happy. So if you look at it, right, if you look at it, you save. If you close it now, close it and look and go back to your folder, you see that there's a folder here, a PDF folder now. So you can see there's a PDF folder and a TXT folder. This one was created by using Echo. This one was created by using Notepad. So these are the two ways you can create file using the command prompt. So in the next, if you want to clear the terminal, to start from the beginning, type CLS, and then clear the terminal. It will clear the terminal for you. So the command CLS will actually clear the terminal for you. So the next thing we want to look at or want to do is how to actually delete a file or a folder. So if let me create another folder called cyber. Inside the example I say mkdir cyber. So if you come here now, you see that there's a folder here. If you open it, you see that there's a folder here called cyber. What if you want to remove this folder? If you want to remove this folder, you use a command called rmdir, then the folder name cyber. rmdir, then the folder name cyber. If you go through it again, you discover that the folder name is no longer there. So that is how you create a folder. So that's how you create folder. Sorry, I mistakenly closed the terminal. So that's how you create folder. Let's go back to desktop again. So we only have two files, PDF and TXT. So let's see how to remove file, how to delete file. Let's say we want to delete the PDF files. So we type del, which means del, to delete file, del, del, to delete the file. Then there's a file named sample.pdf. So if you check back, you discover that the PDF file has been deleted because we deleted it. So to delete a file, we have used del. To delete a folder, use rmdir. So please take note of that. So if you want to copy a file now, from one place to another. Let's say we want to copy sample.txt to a document folder in our system. I'll do copy, copy, just py. So copy, then I'll put the path in which I want to copy to. Copy slash user slash hp slash document. So I want to send it inside document folder. Document. So you can see, let's say the system cannot find the file. Sorry, we need to specify what we want to copy. So say we want to copy sample.txt, want to copy it to document folder. So press enter, save one file, what copy. If you go to your system now, if you check your document folder now, you see a file now called sample.txt. So this is how to copy a file. I have to copy a file. If you want to move, can move it. Say move, the same thing, sample.txt c slash users slash hp /document /document no, let's move it to download this time. Downloads. So one file moved. So let's check it whether it's actually moved or not. Let's check it whether it's actually moved or not. So we click on download. You can see a file and call sample. If we go back to our original file on desktop, you see that it's no longer there. So that is how to move, to copy, to delete, and so on and so forth. So please go through it and check it out on your own. The next thing we want to look at is how to make use to gather information with from using the command interface. How to gather information using the command line interface. So we will click on go back here. So let's clear our terminal. So clear cls. So clear. So the first command we want to look at is called system info. How to gather information. System info and press enter. System info and so it will give you all the information you need to know within your system, starting from the very beginning. So starting from your desktop name, the version, the manufacturer configuration. From there you went to the BIOS setup, to the BIOS information, your boot devices and system local. You went input and so forth. From there you went to your virtual memories. From there it went to the information about your network card or your network adapter. From there you went to your virtual network and so on and so forth. So it gives you much information about your network or about your system. So that is what it does. And system info do the list of tasks that are running, the processes that are running on your system. You type task. Let me clear terminal. Clear. So cls. So type task list. It will show you the list of all the running processes currently in your system. So you type task list. Task list will show you all the running processes within your system. These are all the running processes within your system with the image name, the process ID, the session, the name, the session, the memory usage, and so on and so forth. So if you want to actually query all the drivers that are in your system, to list all the installed driver, let me clear this one, cls. To list all the driver in your system, you type of query, type query, driver query, to query all the system. So let's see, driver query. It's taking a bit time, so let's give it a time. So these are all the drivers that are installed on your system. So it's continue query. These are all the drivers that are installed on your system. These are all the drivers that are installed on your system currently. These are all the drivers that are installed on your system currently. So if you look at it, see all the drivers that are installed on your system. The module's name, the display name, the driver type, then the link date. These are all the drivers that are installed on your system. Then if we want to get the CPU information, we do, let me clear this terminal. CPU information, do we make CPU get name. We want to get the name of the CPU, so you tell us it is Intel Core i5 core, so that's the CPU name. Processor is 2 processor, so that is to get the info. So you want to get the OS information, version information, operating only the OS version information. Boom, win OS get caption version build number so you can see this is the OS version caption, then the description version okay. So it will give us the version number, the build number, the captions, and also the version. So that is how to actually get information about the OS, the operating system you are using. If you want to show current login user, you type echo $username percentage again, so you can tell you this is the name of the user, HP. So echo percentage username percentage. So this is how to get information about your system, about everything that has to do with your system. So if you want to get information about all your services that are running on your system, so all the services that are running on your system, you do SC query. You query the system, query it. So these are all the services that are running on your system. SC query. So different services that are running on your system. These are different services that are running on your system. Different services that are running on your system. You can start any services by doing SC start. So if you want to start any service now, SC start, then the service name. Or if you want to stop, SC stop, then the service name. So but we are not starting or stopping any services currently. So if we want to get information about users, about our users and account management, you type net user. Net user. So net user will give you list all the users in the system for you. Net user will list all the users in the system. So if you want to get information about any particular user, you type net user, then the username. So net user, the username, you can see the username and information about a specific user. So net user, then the username. So if you want to view all the local groups, all the group within the system, put net local group together. It will show you all the groups that are in the system. All the group, you see access control, assistant operator, administrator, backup operator, cryptography operator, device owner, distributed com user, event log reader, guest, Hyper-V administrator, network configuration operators, and so on and so forth. So if you want to view users that belong to a particular local group, just type net local group, net local group administrator, net local group administrators. So net local group administrator. So you can see all the users that belong to administrative users. So net local group administrator, we have cyber and HP. They all belong to the administrative users. So these are different way to actually have a new user. So if you want to create a new user, you do net. If you want to create a new user, you put net user, then you put the username. Let's call the username hacker, for example. Ethical, let's call the username ethical hacker. Then you put /add. What did you say? You say system error 5 has occurred, access denied. Yes, access is denied because we are running this thing from the regular user terminal. So the best thing is to go and run it from the administrative terminal. To go to system, go to command prompt, and then run it as an admin. Run it as admin. So run it as admin. So run it as admin. So you now do net user, let's say ethical hacker. That's the username. Then you put /add. So it will create. You say the command successful, command complete successfully. If you do net user now, net user, you see the user I just created now, ethical hacker. So if you want to delete it, you do net user the username, then put delete. Net user the username, then /delete. Is a command successful. If you do net user again, you see that it has been removed. So this is how to be able to. This is how you will be able to add and delete users at any time, any day, any hour. So this is some of the things we can do. Some of the things we can do with the command line interface. Some of the things we can do with the command line interface as we continue in the world of cybersecurity. So thank you everyone. Now for network configuration and monitoring, if you want to check your information about your network, you do if config, ipconfig will give you every information about your network configurations and everything that are attached to it. So that's what ipconfig will show you. If you want to see all of them, you do ipconfig/all. 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 So ipconfig/all, connection time, IPv4, subnet mask, and so on and so forth. It shows you everything that you need to do about your internet connection. If actually you want to check if a network is connected or not, you ping it. So let me clear the terminal. You put ping, then the host name. For example, I will do example.com. example.com. So ping is said ping cannot find the host name. Example try. So this is as a result of network connectivity, because I'm not connected right now. So if I'm connected, it will be showing a ping sweep that will be run, an ICM ping that will be running. Then another one is called tracead. Tracead will actually trace the route to a host. So type tracead. example.com. tracead example. So unnamed to resolve because of we are not connected. So these are, or you can do, if you do host name will give you the name of the host. Then the ns lookup will look up for ns lookup will help you to look up for the example.com. So it will give you the server and the server IP address, but we are not connected to the internet right now. So let me connect and show you how it works. Let me connect and show you how all this works. Let's connect and see how it works. Disconnected. Not connected. But you can try it out on your own and see the feedback or the output it will give you. So thank you very much for joining us on this course. We'll continue learning more and more on different CLI or command interface that we can use, and their commands that we can use for cybersecurity. Thank you and God bless.